So hi Atamjeet, how are you?
Hi Gokul, how are you? I'm doing well, thank you.
Let's start this off. Why don't you give us a quick intro about your background, your education, where you're from?
Sure. So I'm born and brought up in Amritsar, Punjab,
Uh,
and I have done my graduation in BTech in textile chemistry. Yes, I'm a textile chemist
Interesting.
engineer. Okay, and
I didn't know a degree existed like that. Very interesting.
it's still there. It's only in IIT Delhi and in my university in
Wow,
Amritsar, Guru Nanak University. It's
amazing.
the course is there, and it was my lucky day when I got to get to place in Accenture in Bangalore
Wow,
in 2006. It was my third year in graduation, and ever since then I've
nice.
been with IT.
Okay.
So I'm right now a telecom solution architect. So I design
Uh-huh.
solutions for telecoms, and I've lived in 7 different countries. This is my seventh country, Bahrain, where I'm
Wow.
working. So my job makes me travel, and my hobby makes me talk to you people like you. That's pretty much it, man. Yeah.
Amazing, man. Superb. So how did you get into the whole crafting or the art scene, right? When did it start?
The thing is that, see, I have always been a curious kid. I've always loved aeroplanes since my childhood. And
Uh-huh.
like even today, even today, if an aeroplane, does a low past, I would leave everything and just go and watch it.
Wow.
So that's how my life has been. And, while doing engineering, I came up with this subject called engineering drawing.
Yeah.
Every engineer
Yeah.
is you know
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
has to go through that torture, but it was not a torture
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
me, but
Yeah.
most of the people think it's a torture. I loved it, and there was one day then I decided that I will combine my fascination for geometry. I have always been good in geometry in my 10th standard and all, and
Uh-huh.
combine geometry with engineering drawing to create what I've always wanted to do. So I decided, like, randomly, that I'll go to my university's library, fetch a book on aeroplane designing, and I found a book.
Wow.
It had World War II aeroplane plans, so top view, bottom view, side view.
Wow.
And I immediately, see, the subject was clear to me. I knew that what I'm going to make, but I had never thought that what medium I was going to use. It was a random,
Yeah.
very instant decision that, okay, let's use paper. And
Uh-huh.
I went to the market, I bought ivory sheet, I kind of traced down the 3D, the 2D plans, and with the geometrical formulas, I made them into conical structures. The 3D, I gave them a 3D shape, and after a month, I think my paper model, the first aeroplane, big aeroplane, was ready. It's a scale model. And
Wow.
I mean, that is the day, I think I call it an engineered accident. So I found my passion, and this is 2003. It's been 17 years since I've been making
Wow.
models like this. So this is the kind of stuff I do. This is the kind of things I make with paper.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing, man. So from there, how did it kick off, right? So you did that aeroplane there, and but then how challenging was it? Did you have to learn the techniques to do it, or was it just experimenting?
So my first model was an experiment. As I said, that I just had a gut feeling that, let's make an aeroplane. So it was an experiment. Then, so what happened is, when I made my first model, I posted a lot of pictures on the internet. Was pretty new, 2003. Internet was
Yeah,
really
yeah,
really new.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I knew that I can send emails. So I sent a lot of emails, like random emails to different artists, whoever I could find in Google. I think more than 1,000 emails I sent. So I
Wow.
received a reply from, there is a gentleman in America, Mr. Divine Barnett. I consider him my
Uh-huh.
guru. So he told me
Wow.
that, Atam, there is a hobby called scale paper modeling, which is enjoyed by a lot of people in the world, especially Americans and Polish people and Japanese.
Wow.
So
Wow.
he told me how to get into it, like how not to use a drafter, but how to use a 3D software computer,
Uh-huh.
a computer software to design anything in 3D, and then
Yeah,
get it into printable 2D parts like this.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So you can print out the sheets with which has these
yeah,
parts on it. Then
yeah.
you cut out the parts, join the parts, and then you make things like this. So I'm currently making a M416 rifle. This is the magazine of the rifle. So I've just
Wow.
started it. That's the project I'm working on right now. So this is
Wow.
what, to reach this step, there is a lot of background thing which you have to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so that's how it is.
So did you have to learn the whole 3D modeling stuff? Because as a mechanical engineer myself,
Yep.
so I had to learn the 3D modeling during college and other stuff as well. But did you have to learn the 3D modeling
Uh,
software?
no, I think I've been pretty lucky that I was I was wearing a hat of an end user before
Uh-huh.
I could be the designer. So I
Okay.
started to, make models which have been designed by other people, because
Got it.
I need
Got
to
it.
know how to design. So I've
Yeah.
spent first 10 to 12 years, I guess, just building things which others have designed. Like this bike, I made it in 2006 or 2007, I
Holy
guess.
shit.
Right? So this
Wow.
is made out of paper. So to achieve this kind of designing skills, you need to be a pro computer designer, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my job itself is computer, so I don't want to sit
Yeah.
with my hobby as well in front of computer and with the job
Yeah.
also in
Yeah.
front of my computer. So I decided that let me make models, because this is what I enjoy the most. I enjoy doing things with hands. So
Got it. Got it.
first, most of my more than first half of my experience was into making stuff, and then I learned designing as well. I don't design very
Wow.
often because there is a saying in Hindi that कि जिसका काम उसी को साजे. So
Yeah.
there are better designers than me in the world who can do
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
job than
Yeah.
me for 3D designing. I'm better at making things out of paper, so I outsource
Wow.
that. Yeah, but I do know how to design.
Wow. Amazing, man. So when you started up, did you ever think that people would actually pay for things you did?
It's a good question, Gokul. Okay, I'll tell you one thing. In 2004, I mean, it was just 1 year since I've started making models. I got a
Uh-huh.
call from one guy. He saw my online profile somewhere. I don't know. It was
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Orkut or somewhere. I don't know whichever it
Yeah.
was.
Orkut was pretty prominent back then. Yeah.
Exactly. That was their our time Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he told me that I've seen the kind of things you do, and I would like to buy a model for my boss.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, and he said I want to buy two models, and that was my first lead ever in my entire life, that okay, somebody wants to buy my stuff. So I made two aeroplanes for him. One is the F4F Grumman, F4U Corsair, and the other one is a Bell, a twin wing World War One plane. And I think he paid me $25,000 for that in 2004, and that was my
Wow. Holy cow.
first time.
Wow.
Yeah, and that promised me that okay, it's just been 1 year, and I can, people like to buy this stuff, so why not to go into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So ever since then, I have done a lot of projects for my clients. Yeah, I do that, but yeah, people do buy it for its aesthetic value, for the story it carries, because one model,
Yeah.
this took me around 4 months, I guess, to make 4 or 5 months, this
Yeah.
model.
Wow.
So there is a
Wow.
story behind it. Now since I'm a blogger as well, I blog about it, like what I'm doing, what I was thinking, making this part.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
stories inside of this model, written inside of the model. So,
Wow.
I just try to create a
Wow.
value out of it. Yeah.
Very cool, man. So since you've been doing this stuff for quite some time, right? So what is the most challenging artwork that you've done until now, or challenging craft work that you've done until now?
The most challenging thing I've done is with one of the T90 tanks I did with the Indian Army. So this tank is also T90 tank. This is 1:30 scale. So it's 30 times smaller than the original tank.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
made a 1:6 scale. So it was 6 times smaller than
Holy
the real
cow.
tank. It
Wow.
was almost 6.5 feet long. And that's my masterpiece. And, I spent around 3.5 months only making that model, because designing was done by somebody else, because I didn't have, Indian
Wow.
Army didn't give me much time to, do that.
That-
I asked for 8 months. They said, no, not possible. So then 3.5 months of that thing with my job, I did that.
Wow.
I was working with IBM that time. And that's my masterpiece. If you want to check my profile, you will see that tank there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the only piece in the world like that. There's nothing else like
Wow.
that. Yep.
Wow. So, okay, here's a question that just came to my mind. So, since you've been traveling to different countries with your career, right? So, do you also take your stuff along with you through every country? So,
I do. I have a bag, okay, which is my
Uh-huh.
signature bag, which has my logo, Paper Model Guru, and in
Uh-huh.
that bag, I always carry this bike wherever I go. Even
Wow.
if I'm traveling domestic, most of the times I would carry this bike, because I have started wearing this aeroplane on my glasses. This is my signature.
yeah.
So when people
Yeah.
ask me what is this, I need to have something to show them this is what I do. So
Yeah.
I carry my models, and I also carry my toolkit. My toolkit is pretty simple. It's like, blade and tweezers and scissors and glue.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's it.
yeah.
That's pretty much it. And a cutting mat. And that's it. So it's easy to carry.
Wow. Wow. Very interesting. So, how do you challenge yourself? I mean, since you're already in a pretty, you already do pretty intricate craft work. So how do you keep challenging yourself?
See, I think I don't like to do things which are in my comfort zone. That's how I am. So my first project was simple. Then the second project was more difficult than that. So the project which I'm working on right now is the
Uh-huh.
Batman tumbler. This is my most detailed
Yeah,
project.
yeah.
Okay, and
Wow,
it took me 1.5 months just to complete this part. So the tires and all
wow.
are made. So I level up my thing with every project. So that's, I mean, if I'm not challenging myself, I don't like to do it. So to answer your question, that
Definitely.
I do make sure that I need to have that adrenaline rush from within me, that yeah, Atam, let's
Uh-huh.
make this model because this is something different. This is something which you haven't tried. So yeah,
Wow.
I challenge myself all the times.
Amazing. So, but then how do you choose what to do next?
Okay, I have a long to-do list.
Uh-huh.
I mostly do things which are detailed from the outside because, so if you see a modern jetliner, let's say A320 or A330, right? The most of the detailing is inside of the fuselage.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
is
yeah,
no detailing on the outside. It's just the wings and
yeah, yeah,
a
yeah,
tiny bit
yeah,
of
yeah,
those things, right? I like to make things which are detailed from the outside, like tanks, like the bike, like
yeah,
the
yeah,
Batman
yeah,
tumbler, because
yeah,
Batman tumbler
yeah,
detailing is all on the outside. It has a
yeah.
lot of detailing on it. So these kind of machinery, gets into my to-do list, and the more complicated the machine is, the better, the higher it goes on my list. And and that's how I choose my model. And then if the client wants me to make something specific for them, so I try to, even though if the model is not that detailed, I try to put more detailing on it to make it
Wow,
challenging. Yeah.
wow. So what drives you on a daily basis? What makes you want to get up and do this on a regular basis, apart from your IT job as well?
Yeah. See, this has been my passion ever since I know. I mean, not paper modeling, but being curious about machines has been my passion since my childhood. Like I still remember when I used to see some JCB digging the road,
Yeah.
or a road being built, like the pavers and the road rollers. I would stand there until my parents hold my collar and bring me home. So I have always enjoyed machines. So I mean, I think that's what drives me, and 95% of my models have been machines. And
Wow.
machinery is what drives me, and I just love making things with hands. So
Nice.
yeah, it
Do
can be
you dream
anything, but
about them as well?
I do. I remember I saw a dream one day. I spoke about it in one of the other videos,
Yeah.
where I was lying on my bed and a
Uh-huh.
JCB, basically a crane, came over me, and I just silently slept under it, like under its shade, and
Wow.
I could see the tracks, next to me.
Wow.
I get this kind of dreams. I'm a weird person, man.
Wow, man. Wow. I saw your the F1 race car that you've done recently, right? So
Yeah,
that
this
was
one.
very, very cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. So can you talk a bit about some of your works and talk us about how intricate parts are and how long it took for you to do one particular thing?
Sure. See, there are two things which can make a paper model look detailed. One is
Uh,
you can add graphics to it, like you can add a lot of graphics on the paper itself. So
yeah,
from
yeah,
from a distance it will look like it's 3D, but it's actually
yeah,
graphics. The
yeah,
other thing is that you can actually make 3D parts like this. So the if you see the tires, each and every part is a
yeah,
different
yeah,
part
yeah.
of paper. It's not graphics. So
Wow.
so
So
the
how did that?
detailing.
So that's paper carved in that way, is it?
It's just tiny bits of paper. Let me show you this. So this is the paper. This is one of the parts I'm
Okay.
making for
Yeah,
the
yeah,
M4416 rifle, and
yeah.
this converts into this.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, so you just
Okay.
have to fold it and color the edges and all. So each and every part of this, all my paper models is like this. So each and everything is one separate part.
Holy
Everything
cow.
is a
So that should be
separate part.
like at least 50, 60 parts in one
No,
wheel,
this
right?
is around 1400 plus parts. Each part,
That's it.
yes, if I
Holy
count
shit.
each part, and if you see there is detailing here as well. This is another
Yeah,
part.
yeah, yeah.
This is another part,
Oh,
and
wow.
then the detailing on the engine is again. Let me show
Oh,
you the
the
engine.
suspensions as well. Like, oh my God.
Yep, everything is there. So because Batman Tumbler is something like you can see everything from outside.
Yeah, yeah,
Nothing is
yeah,
hidden.
yeah, yeah,
Only Batman is hidden within it. So
yeah,
these
yeah.
are the kind of models I make, and I like to add whatever detailing I can. Yep.
Wow. So are all the detailings printed and apart from printed, right? Or do you also paint stuff on them?
I very rarely paint. I do paint when I have to really achieve a solid color. I don't really like to do painting and stuff. I recently made a
Uh-huh.
PUBG helmet, PUBG level 3 helmet, because
Yeah,
most of my audience is PUBG fans.
yeah,
So they
yeah,
said me, sir, let's make something with PUBG. So I did a paint job on that. So I made it in white. Then I spray painted it with silver and did that.
yeah,
But mostly it's all printed. So because it's paper, so I can choose whatever color I
yeah,
want to print. So it's easy in
yeah,
that
yeah,
way, and I can achieve the same color again and again. If I have to paint it,
yeah, yeah,
I have to always come up with that formula of getting the right color.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a pretty cool Batman helmet that people know, right?
Yeah.
So 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 this is my question. So let's say somebody wants to buy that, right? So is there a way? So they have to keep it like that. Or is there a way for them to collapse it and then move it up? I mean,
No, no.
bring
Once
it back
it's
to shape
made,
again.
yeah. Once it's made, you cannot collapse it. It's
Ah,
made.
okay.
It's all
Wow,
glued together. But
wow.
before that, it's in a collapsed state. It's like this.
Ah,
So
okay.
you just
Got
have
it,
to
got it,
cut
got
the
it.
parts and then join it, and then it's like that forever. So yeah,
Wow,
people.
very cool.
So I tell all my fans all the time that you know uh, there are thousands of free PDF files available on internet. If you just search paper model download bike, you will find the PDF file of this bike. Just print it
Wow,
out and then start cutting and joining the parts. It's that
wow.
simple. You don't have to invest a single penny on anything except
Really?
on paper. Yeah. So
Wow,
that's how it is. It's everything is available on the internet. I mean, I think 80% of my models have been free downloads. Only 20% have been
wow,
paid for my clients. Yep. So when I have
wow.
to design something custom. And this
Amazing,
is this
man.
is made out of leather kind of texture paper. If you see the texture of leather paper,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So I've started experimenting with FSC approved paper, which is environment friendly paper. Like when they cut a
yeah,
tree,
yeah,
they plant 10 more trees, and it goes
yeah,
through an FSC approved process. So more environment friendly stuff, and more there are hundred thousand kind of papers available in the market. So
wow.
I thought that let me experiment with something new this time and see
Have
how
you
it
ever
goes.
have you ever tried or wanted to do anything apart from, I mean, wanted to experiment with any other material apart from paper?
I never want to do that. I mean, I've been asked this question a lot of times that why paper? I think there are a lot of artists who are doing die-cast modeling. There are a lot of artists who are doing wood modeling, balsa wood,
Yeah,
but very few artists in the world who do paper modeling. So
yeah,
it really gives me that edge. So I don't want to get into the mainstream thing. I want to do something which is rare. So
yeah,
I would not go beyond paper unless there is a need. If my
yeah,
client
yeah,
says that I want lights to be put in it or some kind of a function, so I can do that.
yeah.
But
Definitely, definitely.
mostly
Yeah.
it's gonna be paper only.
Have you ever been asked to do a human portrait?
I have been asked a lot of times. In fact, there was a lady in one of my exhibitions in back in New Delhi. So she said,
Uh-huh.
"Can you make my thing?" I was like, "Yes, why not? Why sure?" But just jokes apart, I think I've it's possible. It's just that I don't fancy making organic stuff because that's different thing. I mean, I've made okay. This is kind of an organic model. Okay, it has
Yeah,
that kind
yeah,
of curves which a face would have. Or I've made a big camel head, which the hunter head when they kill an animal,
yeah,
they
yeah,
put it on the wall, something like that. So that's one organic model I've made. I've made an Iron Man helmet. That's kind of an organic model because it has this face curves,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's it. I think I would not want to make a human figure unless I've been asked by the clients to do that. But I have been asked a lot of times. They don't want to pay. That's it.
Definitely, man, definitely. See, for the upcoming artists and artisans to gain some knowledge, right? See, pricing is always a difficult issue or a challenging issue for artists and artisans, crafters as well. So, can you give some tips on how to actually price? You said the first one you did, you were paid $25,000, but then how did you come up with that pricing? Did they come up with the pricing, or did you come up with the pricing?
No.
How does it work?
Okay. So it's very difficult question to ask because each piece has its own story.
Yeah,
How much
yeah,
time, how much level of detailing, how much effort I have spent on it. So now I've kind of conceptualized a formula based on my hourly salary here, wherever I go.
got it.
So
Yeah,
somewhere there, I kind of calculated and tell my client that this is what I'm earning with my job, and I would spend this much of time on this, and let's just make it 40-50% of that
Yeah, yeah,
and come up
yeah,
to a
yeah.
price. Because when you give reasoning to a client, they kind of understand, okay, this makes sense. Because otherwise I can tell that this piece is for 1 lakh, or I can tell this is for 10 lakhs. You will not be nobody will be able to challenge it. It's an art piece.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
a
yeah,
painting is
yeah,
sold for 1 crore as well, and
yeah,
10,000 as
yeah,
well. So
yeah.
it's just that whether the buyer is seeing a value in it. So I price
Definitely.
it accordingly. Yeah. And
So,
of course, sure. Yeah.
so go on, go on.
And of course, I also see that when somebody is going to buy my model, how is it gonna benefit me apart from the money? So,
Yeah.
like the tank which I gave for the Indian Army, it's installed at one of the Indian Army headquarters in North
Wow.
India. Okay, so when you enter the headquarters, the first thing you will see is the tank, and then you have the offices. So that
Wow.
gives me a lot of eyeballs every day. So I
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of reduced my price a bit, so that because it's gonna benefit me, I might get another order and all.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it all depends on that. Yeah.
Wow. So have you ever faced challenging customers, if you can put it the right way, who order something from you and then they want to change something, but then they're never satisfied? Have you ever faced a customer like that?
No, I've been very lucky. Why I'll tell you. Because see, paper modeling is very difficult to understand.
Yeah,
Nobody knows that something like this can be made out of paper. So by the
yeah,
time my
yeah,
customer, get into the zone of understanding what it is, I've already done the piece.
yeah,
So I so that bracket of doing adjustments is already gone before that. Unless my customers are very very aware of this thing kind of thing. But mostly they are not. They just know that Atom will make something good for us. So do whatever you want to do, and I think it has been working out well so far.
Amazing. So what's been the major milestones that you think you've achieved in the past 12, 13 years of you doing this?
I think my first biggest milestone was in 2013, 10 years after I started paper modeling. Of course, after selling one of my pieces in 2004, that I don't see it as a
Yeah.
milestone. It was just a fluke, I guess. I don't know. But in 2013, I got a call from the Viral Fever TVF guys,
Uh-huh.
the TVF Kutyapa, and they wanted a rocket launcher for one of the upcoming movies, which
Yeah.
later came out to be one of the most viral videos, like 8 million views. By Ho,
Wow.
they made a spoof of Jai Ho. So in that
Wow.
they used my rocket launcher in one of the scenes, and
Wow.
and they told me that Atamjeet, this is our second official collaboration with anyone, and TVF is a big thing now. So it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
2013 or 14, I guess. So that was my first milestone where I got into, I understood that yeah, there is a market of these kind of props in Bollywood kind of industry as well. And
Wow.
then after that, because TVF is a big thing, because of that I got a good visibility. So TEDx happened. I spoke at TEDx. I spoke about my journey from passion to perfection. I spoke about the 6P formula: the passion, patience, precision, persistence, practice, and perfection. So how I incorporate these 6Ps in anything I do, even in my job as well. So that's one milestone. And then I've done one of my only, I would say, workshops, which is a corporate workshop with Taj Group of
Uh-huh.
Hotels. So they invited
Uh-huh.
me in Bombay to conduct a ice breaking session for all the general managers. It was general manager meeting. So that was one thing that I got to know that yeah, this is an area I can get into, because corporate workshops, they really do pay
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you get to meet people who are your potential clients, because those are the CEOs and CFOs who earn in crores.
Yeah, yeah,
So and
yeah,
my
yeah.
clients, I look for people who are willing to shell out lakhs of rupees for my models, not
Yeah,
even
yeah,
thousands,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So that was a milestone. And then uh, I think the T90 tank which I made for the Indian Army has been the biggest milestone ever, because nothing
Wow.
like that has been ever attempted by paper modeling community around the world. I was the first
Wow.
person, and now there is another person who has made a same size of tank, but it's a Tiger One tank. It's a German tank.
Okay.
I made a T90 tank. So I set that benchmark that yeah, dude, this is also possible. And I have a very good time lapse video of how I made it in 3.5 months. It's a
Wow,
3 minutes
wow, wow.
video. So I think that's one of the biggest milestones, and that has become my benchmark, that I have to set my expectations above that. I should never go beyond it. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Very cool, man. So, okay, I want to talk about plagiarism and piracy for some time. You know that what the topic means. So, have you ever faced being plagiarized, or have you ever been plagiarized?
I really wanted to talk about this. I think I've never shared this in public. This is the first time I'm going to share this. I was tagged as a pirate in 2011 by the paper modeling
Really?
community. They banned me. Yes. They thought
Shit.
that I was selling somebody else PDF, because PDFs are paid as well. There are free
Yeah, yeah.
PDFs, but there are paid PDFs as well. So they thought that I was selling PDFs. They had no proof of it. I think one or two comments in my earlier website, artwanted.com, I had a page.
Yeah.
They got a clue that Atam, if somebody is asking, sir, can I buy this model? I say yes. Email me. So that yes was translated into that he's selling PDF, but in fact I was selling my already built models, which I can sell, right? So
Yeah.
they didn't give me a chance to prove myself. I was not guilty. They just banned me from that paper modeling community. In fact, I posted
Wow.
about it like 3 days back on Facebook for the first time,
Wow.
as a story, not even a post. I want to do a big post on it, and that day I cried for 2 days. I mean that time, because
Wow.
paper modeling community has been very dear to me. I learned from them. I have really contributed a lot to them with my own techniques and own tools. So getting banned from a total big forum, that's the only forum in the world where every
Yeah.
paper modeler is there, and they're talking about me. The blog is still there. They're talking
Shit.
about me, and then in the last comment, the admin said that let's ban this guy. They didn't even give me a chance. So I know how it feels if somebody's work is pirated. So luckily for me, I haven't seen anybody, you know, stealing my work or something like that. Because see, anybody can make this bike. This is a free PDF. There
Yeah.
are around 11 to 12 people in the world who have made this bike, not more than that. So I wouldn't say that stealing it. Everybody has their own way of making it. So if
Yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
put 10 bikes on a table, every bike is going to be different looking. But the T90 tank which I made for the Indian Army, I made a PDF out of it. So I am also selling PDFs now. And so far I haven't seen anybody stealing the PDF, because if somebody gets a hold of a PDF, then it's very easy to just spam it.
Yeah.
I will not
Yeah.
have any
Yeah.
track of it. And I see a lot of PDFs being spammed. Like I have seen this Batman PDF being, spammed like anything. I paid the artist,
Yeah.
but this PDF is also available for free in one of the Russian,
Wow.
houses. So yeah, it's
How
there.
did you get back into the community then?
I think they changed the website and all the bands were removed. And luckily, then I messaged the admin, because I think what happened is when I was being banned, right? When this post was going on for 3-4 days, one of the guys, Chris, he emailed me that this is going on. I didn't knew that this is going on.
Uh-huh.
Are you guilty? I immediately sent him all the emails to my clients that this is the email I
Yeah.
sent
Yeah.
them, that I'm going to sell you completely built models, not the PDFs. I gave him proofs within 2 minutes, and then he posted
Wow.
those emails on the forum that this guy cannot be crook, because it took him two
Yeah.
minutes to send me these emails. He cannot make it
Yeah.
in that 2 minutes of time. But still, they were misunderstandings in my blog. I didn't mention the designer's name. I didn't know I had to do that. But
Yeah.
they said
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
this guy is taking all the credit of designing. I have been very open about it that I do not design these things. But
Nice. Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
but it's now removed. But I don't post anything there. Instagram is my mecca. I have everything on Instagram for me. All my audience is on Instagram, and I don't need to go back to that unless they
Yeah. Yeah.
apologize with me publicly. Yes.
Wow. Very
Yeah.
interesting. Man. Very interesting. Super. So, how did you come with that particular model on your
Okay,
thing, on your?
that's a good question. I wanted you to ask it. I was just waiting, man. Please ask, please ask. I was going to share this. Okay, the thing is, in 2017, I realized that there was a realization that every artist has a unique identity, a physical identity. Like most of the artists would grow their hair or their
Yeah.
beard,
Yeah.
or they would wear one kind of a t-shirt, or like Mark Zuckerberg always wear this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
people are identified with their physical appearance in public. And then I was actually doing my business. I was sitting on a toilet seat, okay, and that thought wouldn't go. I had to do something about it. That, man, what can I do? Then I immediately thought, okay, let me grow my beard and grow a big mustache, and I will never cut my beard.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then I think it just went down the drain that no, my wife is gonna kill me, and my daughter is gonna disown me, that this is not my dad. But that, I think within 2 minutes that idea got drained off. Then I started reflecting back, introspecting that what am I known for? Why my journey was started? And because of it was an aeroplane, my journey was started. Then I said, okay, let me do something related to aeroplanes which I can wear on me. And then, since I'm a paper artist, I cannot wear paper on my body because it will become oily, or
Yeah.
it will be spoiled, or if I put
Yeah.
it on
Yeah.
clothes, it is gonna be crushed, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I had to choose something which I do not touch or nobody touches. So I
Yeah,
chose
yeah,
this, that, this thing, this particular section of my body is
yeah,
mine. Nobody's touching
yeah.
it, and I really take care of it. And that I think out of all the
Wow,
ideas which I have, this is Rafael, by the way. I made it
wow,
recently
wow,
when Rafael landed in India. So
wow.
out of all my ideas, everything which has happened in my life, this is my proudest thing because this is so
Wow.
unique. There is nobody else in the world who has
Yeah,
this kind
yeah,
of an
yeah,
appearance.
yeah,
And in pandemic, right, everybody's wearing a mask. You can't see who that person is.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
people identify me with this, oh,
yeah,
Pepper Model Guru, Atamji. I think I'm so proud of this particular thing that
wow.
I want a movie to be made on this thing. To be honest, seriously, this
And I
idea
think
before
the
it
other
gets
thing
stolen.
is,
Yeah.
wow. I think the other thing is it's also a conversation starter, right? When you go somewhere, people are going to ask you, what is that on your glass?
Exactly. That was the whole idea that I want people to recognize. Okay, two kind of people. One set of people who have seen my work, but they haven't seen me. So if they recognize me, I'm traveling in Delhi metro or somewhere, they would see, oh,
Yeah,
this is the same guy I've seen work with. And the other set of people who don't know who I am, who haven't
yeah,
seen my work, but they would still ask me, sir, why are you wearing this? What is this?
yeah,
Is it
yeah,
a bird
yeah,
or sometimes people say, sir, there is something on your glasses. Ah, it's an aeroplane. Okay, what is it? Then I get an opportunity. Okay, wait, I'll tell you my story.
yeah.
And I think on an average, from last 3 years, I would uh, in every 3 days I have spoken with two different people,
Wow,
total strangers, about this. They asked me.
wow.
So it has been
Very
such a
nice.
huge PR thing for me. And it works like I don't have to do anything. People ask me,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
is this?
yeah,
So I
yeah.
think it's a really
Wow. I think
working out
that's
well
an
for me.
amazing idea, man. That's an amazing idea.
Thanks.
I'm gonna talk to my team and figure out what I can do with
Sure.
Very interesting, man. Super. Okay, so have you ever thought of being a full-time craft artist?
I think about it since 2003 every day when I wake up. Bloody
Uh,
hell, I have to again check emails. I have to again, be on the calls and all. But but I think I'm sailing in two boats, and I've been able to manage both of them parallelly with my family, of course. Uh, I eventually have a dream and a goal, and I think I'm getting to it, that I want to become a full time into paper modeling. I want to first of all teach this art to people, especially in India, who do not value hobbies. People in
yeah,
India do not value hobbies. They don't know what is the significance of a hobby, especially when you are in the corporate world or into a business where you don't have your time for yourself. You have to have a go getaway time, and the only getaway people have is, okay, let's go to Goa, or let's go to Ladakh, or let's go here
yeah,
and there, or
yeah,
let's drink. Apart from that, if you have something like this as a hobby, you are taken to a different world, different dimension, where it's just you and machines and your tools, or any subject. If you want to make organic structures also, I saw you took that interview of a girl who was making paper birds.
yeah, yeah,
That's an
yeah.
amazing hobby to have. So I, I
Oh,
i
that's
want to
crazy. Yeah,
spread this before I die. I want to, when you say that, we have to create dent in the universe, that's, if I am able to achieve that I want everybody to understand the importance of hobby in their lives. I would think that I'm a successful person. So this is where I
wow.
want to go. And of course, this I love this, and I want to make bigger and bigger models and more detailed models for
Uh-huh.
MoMA, Museum of Modern Art in New York. That's my dream destination.
Wow,
So it will happen. But with my job,
definitely.
I'm enjoying my travel. I get to meet a lot of different community, different people. I'm here in Arab country. These are the guys who have money,
Yeah, yeah,
and they don't
yeah,
they
yeah,
don't think twice in painting 22 karat gold on their
yeah,
cars.
yeah,
They have that
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
money. So these are my potential clients. So I wouldn't leave my job unless I'm assured that, yeah, there is I can make a big living out of it. I think I can. It's
Definitely.
just that I'm not ready yet. In maybe 5 years, I will.
Absolutely, man. I'm sure you will. So, super. So here's a fun question. Let's say you can go back 5 years. What would you tell yourself?
Uh, this is a good question, man. I think I would tell myself to experiment more, to stop wasting time. Not even 5 years, I think 10 years back, because I had this
Huh?
realization in 2013 or 14 when TVF called me, the viral people called me.
Yeah, yeah,
That was a big slap on my face, that bloody hell, other people are appreciating your work. What are you doing about it? I
yeah.
told myself that I only did one exhibition in last 10 years. 2003 से लेके 2013 तक My first exhibition was in Bangalore in Origami. There is a place. So, I mean, I think that was a realization that, okay, enough is enough. I don't need to waste my time anymore. Let me start learning how to integrate other things with it, how to better my skills, how to learn from other paper modelers around the world, and how to do stuff. So I've been experimenting with stuff. I've been looking other people's works, and this is the only message I would give: that stop wasting time and be
Wow.
serious about creating a dent in the universe.
That's a nice way to put it, man. Creating a dent in the universe. Very cool. Superb. And I think you already answered my next question. I was about to ask, do you teach people? You said you had an opportunity to do a workshop earlier, but you plan to do some pretty soon. So
Exactly. So the one I told you about was the corporate workshop I did with
yeah,
Raj.
yeah.
But on an individual level, I've done so many workshops. I've done about two
Nice.
workshops in Bahrain already. I've done around
Nice.
7 to 8 workshops in India with IIT Delhi,
Nice.
IIT Roorkee. I've done workshops with them.
Very nice. Very
So,
nice.
and people who experience this, mostly they don't leave it. They at least
Yeah,
make
yeah.
one model and then they think about the other one. So workshops is possible, and I'm planning to do some kind of a master course, a master class,
Yeah, yeah,
maybe
yeah,
with
yeah.
you,
Yeah.
in the
We
coming
will
future.
explore it. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Super, man. Okay, let's talk about Instagram. You said that Instagram is your mecca, right? Why? And and what were the do's and don'ts? I mean, what are the mistakes you did in Instagram when you started off?
It's a good question, man. I think I was not on Instagram till 2017. And that's the biggest stupidity, I would say, biggest mistake. My friends have been telling me, Atam, come to Instagram. I thought that, Facebook is my platform because I think our
Yeah,
generation, I mean, I'm 35
yeah,
years old. I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
sure how old are you?
I'm
Our
very close
generation,
to you, man. 33. So
33, right? Yeah. So our generation has we will never leave Facebook even if we are 70 years old. But the new generation, students who are
yeah, yeah,
18
yeah,
years, 25 years, they are on Instagram. They are not even on Facebook. They don't have an
yeah, yeah,
account on Facebook. So
yeah,
that was
yeah,
one realization that if I want to connect with the younger audience and get them into this hobby, I need to be on a platform where they are. I almost
yeah,
went into
yeah.
TikTok. I almost decided,
Oh, wow.
with a
Lucky you
cringy thing.
didn't.
No, yeah, exactly. Luckily, it got banned. I almost decided, okay, let me go to TikTok because my audience is there as well. But I
Yeah,
think Instagram is one place where if you want to connect with younger generation, you have to be on Instagram. And then Instagram is for artists. I think for artists is the biggest, like the best place because there is no crap. I mean, you have a picture and then you have a description. If you want to read a description, you can. But Facebook has a lot of other stuff going on.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's
yeah,
really mixture of everything you can think of. It has
yeah,
games, it
yeah.
has everything. So Instagram is the platform for me, and my journey. I will tell you something honestly. Okay, first time I'm sharing this. Uh, I only had 4,000 followers in February this year.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and
Wow.
I connected with a guy, and we made a big plan that how we will increase our audience organically, all organic. And pandemic has been the best time of my life, I would say.
Exactly.
Okay,
No,
okay,
it's
where
not
I
just for you, for the whole art community or the
exactly,
craft community. It's been like crazy. So
yeah, I mean, you do not have to travel anywhere.
yeah,
I could do stuff which I wanted to do from last 10 years, and
yeah,
I built up my audience. If you join any of my live videos ever, because I do a lot of
yeah,
live videos, 3 times in a week. If you see my live video, you will see how much I connect with my audience,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I think that's what it is, man. I mean, I just
yeah,
love
yeah.
to
Definitely.
to do
Okay,
that.
here's another question. Here's a curveball. Okay,
Yeah,
what
Google
have
me.
you ever thought about? What happens if Instagram got banned?
I think I still have a good. Okay, my audience on Instagram is 85% Indians, and
Uh-huh.
others are Poland and Americans and
Yeah.
Germans. And on Facebook, my 95% of audience is other countries apart from India. So I have
Nice.
both the platforms. So
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I think platform will not matter. I think uh, uh, if Instagram goes down, something will come up. Like TikTok is replaced
Exactly.
by Reels, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
and people who have been following my work and who love to see my work, they would be wherever I go. So I really don't have any, I've never give that thought.
Definitely.
What would I do?
Very
I'm
cool.
pretty
See,
comfortable. Yeah.
there's one thing that I want to ask about what you said earlier. You said 80% of the work that you did were from PDF that were available freely, right?
Yep.
So in that case, a lot of people who want to do paper crafting or who are already good at it, they can just download the PDF and they could do it.
Yep. Yep.
But definitely it takes a lot of time and effort and dedication to do that thing in the scale that you've done.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Sure, sir. Yep. Please, Kareem, I'm
so,
listening you.
my question is, what's the signature thing? Let's say this particular bike, right? You said that there are like 5 or 10 different people have done this bike.
Yep.
What is that? What's your signature style in all the craft work that you do?
Okay. I've seen other people's work. I've compared it with my work. I would say that I have an eye for finishing. I spent more time in making sure that the model looks nice. It should look like it's made out of plastic. That's always my goal and objective. And that's about it. I mean, I strive for perfection in whatever I do. I told you that, right? So if you see the silencers of this bike are perfectly parallel to each other. I've seen 11 models. None of them are parallel, or the mudguard is down, or the headlight is on the same angle. I try to make it symmetrical, like nature loves symmetry, right? So I love symmetry as well. So I have an eye for detailing, and that's what sets my models apart from others. I know that I'm being very honest with you. And then I always have this signature on all my models, and a small aeroplane.
The one I wear
on my glasses. So that's my signature. This sets my models apart as well. Yep.
Wow, super, man. So have you ever thought of trademarking your name, your brand name, Paper Model Guru?
Not really. I mean, I've been told by one of my best friends to do that. I think I will do it when the time will come. I want to trademark this more than Paper Model Guru. I want to trademark guy with aeroplane on my glasses. There was a time when I wanted to collaborate with Lenskart, but I'm glad I didn't do it, because then it would be with everyone. I wanted to have this unique identity. I'm glad I didn't do it. So I think now I'm in a position that nobody will steal it from me. So I should be doing it, but I haven't given it a big thought. But thanks for bringing it up. I'll think about it tonight.
Super, man. So let's say people want to buy something from you, right? So do you sell? Is everything custom made, or do you already have a fixed set of product that people can just buy from?
No. There's nothing fixed. Everything is custom. So if I get an order today, I will start from zero for that order. Even if somebody wants to buy this bike, which is ready, I will not sell this. I will make another one. I never sell my own models. Which I made for myself, because as I told you, I have stories written inside it. If you open
there's
this,
a lot of emotional stuff involved in
it. This logo. This was my first logo. Amin.
Wow.
It's Amin. Okay, this is my first logo. That's my first logo, and there are a lot of stories written inside it. Which are very dear to me. If my daughter ever tears open this tire, she's gonna see poems written by me for my ex-girlfriends. So I will never sell this bike, man. And for that matter, I will never sell any of my models, because there are so many secrets written inside them.
Exactly. Okay, here's the question. So since I'm gonna be having a kid very soon, so my question to you is, thanks, man. So question is, let's say your daughter want to play around with one of your paper models, right?
Yeah.
And she's about to break it off, and kids break things apart, right?
Yeah.
What do you do then? Do you cringe? Do you like, oh my God, please don't do that? Or do you like, you know what? I don't know. Should I stop her?
I think I hope my wife is not here. More than my daughter, I'm scared of my wife, because she has the clumsy hands. She will break it for sure if she handles it. But my daughter, first, I never let her play with these are not toys, basically. She understands the value of it, because all my models are displayed in glass boxes in a very nice lighting. She knows it's something special. It's not my toy, which I can pull from the basket. But I gave her, there have been chances where I asked her to pose with it, and she really held it the way I will hold it. So I'm not scared of it. And if somebody else breaks it, yes, I will be cringy about it. In fact, the viral fever broke my rocket launcher while giving it back.
Wow.
I didn't sell it to them. So they said I will. And it came back in 3 pieces with all, somebody sat on it. And I immediately called the director, man, this is not done. You didn't even pay me. And then they said, okay, we'll make up with it. And this project I did with TVF again.
Yeah, wow.
So this tank was made by, in a video made by TVF, the timeline.
Wow.
There is a video dedicated to the Indian Army. So
amazing.
Of course, man. I mean, if it's an art piece, if somebody breaks it, it will really hurt me.
Yeah. Superman. So how do people reach out to you? So do you have a YouTube channel? Tell us a bit about that.
Mostly Instagram. Uh, I have a very active WhatsApp group of most of my fans who want
Uh-huh.
to see my live video. So I always post before coming live there, and it's a
Got it.
closed group. Only I can post. So no spams, no good morning, good evening messages. So that's one thing people can connect with me. My Facebook, I get messages from all over all the channels. I get emails, I
Yeah.
get Facebook, I get phone calls, I get Instagram messages. So I don't
Nice.
have a website. I have a website, but it's not ready yet. So
Oh yeah, I think
yeah, yeah,
you need to do your website ASAP, man.
yeah, man, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
agree.
yeah. Amazing, amazing. Super, man. I think I'm done with all my questions. Is there anything else that you especially want to talk?
Yeah, okay. Since the audience is there, right? Why I run to show this is one of the simplest
Holy
models
shit.
I made. This was made in less than 2 hours. Okay,
Really?
it's very
Wow.
simple and it's a free download. So if anybody wants to try paper modeling, I would recommend with this. Start with this, and you can show it
Nice.
off. You can do a lot of poses with the Thor hammer,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and start with simple stuff because I started with something very complicated because my passion for aeroplanes didn't let me get bored, but not everybody's passionate about machines. But I
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
people to have a feel of how paper modeling is. So that's my
yeah,
message.
yeah.
That start with
Wow.
Thor Hammer. Message me. I'll give you the PDF for free. I'm not
Wow.
selling it. Yeah.
You put it out there. I'm not selling it. So
Yeah.
makes
Yes.
sense, man. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Amazing, man. So any final tips that you want to give to overall people who are getting into craft, selecting papers and stuff? Any tips that you want to give to people?
The only tip is that just take the first step. Don't think much. Don't plan that, you know, just don't plan. Just go. Just get off the chair. Just go towards. I want to buy paper. Okay, let me go to the market. While on the way to the market, think about what else I need. Build it up from
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Just don't plan everything. Okay, I need this. I need this. I need this. I need this. Then we will never be able to go that. That's my
yeah, yeah.
approach towards life. So take the first step. And in TEDx, I spoke about this that take the first step, and the momentum will make you take the next one. It's simple physics. So if you don't take the second
Yeah.
step, you will fall. So once you have the enough momentum, you will start walking and running. So see that
Got
how it
it. Got
works,
it.
and then stop wasting time. People are binge watching Netflix. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's good to see that once a while, but not. It shouldn't be an addiction. You're wasting
yeah,
people
yeah.
who do that, wasting their time, and this time will never come back. Like this pandemic, this lockdown is a blessing in disguise, I would say. And this time
Exactly.
is not gonna come
Exactly.
back. People who have benefited from, I know a lot of artists like singers and all who have benefited out of this, just like I did. They have benefited out of this time amazingly. So I think people need to realize that the clock is ticking, and we don't know whether we have tomorrow to see or not. We don't know about
Yeah,
how much
yeah,
time it
yeah.
is. So we should be always scared that okay, my time is running, my time is running. What should I do? I need to
Time
make
is
some.
money. Yeah,
Yeah, time is money and time is running. It's not
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
come back. So
Definitely.
yeah, I mean that realization is very important. And once you realize it,
Amazing.
everything in life will fall in its place.
Super, man. Okay, this question just came to my mind. So you said some of your artworks take you months to complete, right? So if that is the case, you have a day job as well. So you come back, and how many hours do you spend on a normal day on your work?
Okay, let me give you an example of the masterpiece I made, the T90 tank. Okay, I
Uh-huh.
had a job. I used to go from New Delhi to Gurgaon. I used to work with IBM in Hero Motocorps. Hero Motocorp was my client.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would start at 7 and I come back at around 8 in the night. So from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. I was away. And from 8 to 9:30, I would spend time with my wife, my family, eat dinner, play with my daughter. She was 1 year old that time. And then I would lock myself in the room from 9:30 or 10 p.m. onwards till 3 p.m., 3 a.m.
3
And I
a.m.
would work
Shit.
on the tank. And then I would sleep for 3 hours, wake up at 6 again. I did this for 3.5 months. So, but I
Wow.
never regret it. I never, even a single day, I didn't feel that, man, I'm not able to do it. I will not be able to do it because I'm so passionate about machines. I'm so passionate about doing things with my hand, something which nobody has done. That tank,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I still, it's still unbelievable how I made that model. I
Wow,
mean, you
that's
should check out that
commitment,
video.
man.
You should
I
check
will
out
do
that
that.
video.
I'll check that out.
Yeah.
So what's
So
your
I
YouTube
think
channel name?
same Paper Model Guru. Everywhere I am Paper Model Guru. If you want to search anywhere, it's Paper Model Guru.
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. I'm gonna check out that video, and I think it takes a lot of commitment and also passion, especially to do that, right? I think even if you have commitment, if you don't have passion, I don't think you can do it until 3 a.m. in the morning. So,
Exactly. I mean, I
yeah,
think passion and madness is very related to each other. You have to be
yeah,
mad,
yeah, yeah.
which you think it's passion, but I think it's madness. My mom was sure I'm crazy because I remember I was making this ship in 2004 or five, and the tip ship had that the deck the
Yeah.
I don't know what you call the tower. Okay, that's a warship.
Okay.
Basically, it's tower which
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of antennas and things around it. I spent 72 hours working on that tower non-stop. I didn't sleep for 3 days. That was,
Wow.
and my mom was like, gaya ye, matlab, he's gone, you know. So I think passion and madness are from the perspective
Two
of other
things.
people, different people. Yes,
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
it needs
Amazing,
time.
man. This has been an amazing conversation, man.
Thanks. Same
Wow.
here, man.
Very
Yes,
cool, man.
thank you.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Very glad to have known you. Thanks for contacting us. Amazing. Uh,
My pleasure, man. Thank
Super,
you.
man. Super. Hope you
Yeah, you're
had a
doing a
nice
good
time
job,
in
man.
this conversation. Oh,
You're doing a
thank you,
good
man.
job.
Thank you.
I think I saw a few of your videos. I mean, I would say my followers who are here, please check out a few videos of Madcap. He really has an eye for artists. He chooses his people he wants to talk with, and the interviews are really good. You will learn a lot of things from all the interviews. Please try to watch a few of them. And yeah,
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you, man. Thanks for the shout out. Thanks a lot for your time.
my
Have a
pleasure.
good evening, and we'll catch up soon then.
Sure. Thanks, man. It's been a pleasure. Bye.
Yeah.
Good night.
Thank you, man. Bye.
Bye.